Hey everyone, RedHolm here. Welcome back to some more Steven Universe theories. Before I tell you what I came to find, I did not check at all before making this video if anyone else has come to this conclusion. I just didn't want to Google it, and I didn't want it to affect what my findings are. The last episode that I'll be referring to and showing pictures of in this theory is it might contain a little bit of spoilers from episode 69, Sadie's song. At first, I was researching for another theory of finding out a certain person's age, if it's actually possible. And as I went deeper and deeper into this theory, I'm like, wait. Something doesn't exactly seem right. Wait. For example, what if Steven's upgrade from Nintendo 64 to GameCube wasn't because they just happened to find a GameCube for cheap? What if it was because the Nintendo Wii had just come out in the market and the GameCube was on sale? So what I came to was that in the show, as the time of episode 65, Onion's Friend, is that Steven Universe is in between June the 9th and the 24th of 2006. This date I have confirmed with the help of the calendars in Onion's house and comparing it to the USA standard calendar for 2006. If it's the world standard, first of all, USA standard is basically Sunday first and Saturday last. World standard is Monday first and Sunday last. If it's world standard, it's 2007 or 2012, I do believe. Usually you can't really trust calendars in this show, as shown in that every calendar you see in the phone when Steven is phoning Connie are all the exact same calendar, so you can't take most calendars for shit in this show, except for this one, because you can see that there are a couple of X's on this calendar, which is at June 25th and June the 8th. June the 8th. We know this because of the little note standing on the side, showing when Onion's father comes home from his fishing trips. And comparing this to an actual calendar gets us 2006. But more than this, have you ever asked yourself, why are there so many CRT TVs in this show? There's not a single flat screen in sight. I can understand Steven, since his TV gets destroyed every chance they get. But even Sadie? She has a CRT screen. Or what about the Mahesh Warrens? Connie's home. Her mother is a doctor. They are at the very least middle class. And they wouldn't have enough money to buy a LCD or flat screen. They would have to have, a shitty, cheap CRT screen. That is, of course, unless if it's 2006, where LCD screens are still, or LCD TVs are still in its early phase, where it was around 2006 where they actually started becoming cheaper. While in 2007, LCDs took the majority market share from CRT. Meaning that if it's 2006, you can understand why there's so many CRTs, because LCDs are still expensive and they don't have the market share yet. I just find it really strange that I have not actually seen a single flat screen TV in the entirety of Steven Universe. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. And then you got the phone tech in this show. Steven is shown to have a smartphone, or at very least a touch screen phone, as well as most of the younger people in the show. In other words, Ronaldo, Lars, I'm pretty certain that was it Jenny? Her name was. They all seem to have the exact same smartphone or touchscreen phone, except for Connie and her mother. Connie has a flip phone. These were they were well in use around 2006. In 2015, on the other hand, I do not know a single person that has one. Everyone has smartphones. They're cheaper, they're better. Basically, why wouldn't you have a smartphone in 2015, And Connie's mother, who is actually seen to have a button phone in a Nightmare Hospital. You can see her for just a few frames, and she has a button phone, which would make sense because smartphones in 2006 were still in their infancy, more or less, touchscreens and such. They weren't that popular. They became much more popular in 2007, but in 2006, I can see kids wanting to be hip. They want to have the latest stuff. So, give me a smartphone now, or give me a touch phone now. While Connie's mother is seen to be a very rational, pretty much take it safe. So they don't know if smartphones are actually good, and back then they were a little bit sketchy. They weren't the best. The technology wasn't exactly there yet. So they still have button phones, which their technology was already there. Meaning that, it does show to be around in the between the phasing out of button phones and smartphones taking touchscreen phones. I know not all smartphones are touchscreen. I know that. So it's in between, those two, which is around 2006. And maybe a minor fact that I'm not even going to take into account. For example, Greg is using a Walkman in episode 6, cat fingers. But anything with Greg I'm willing to count as he just has really old stuff. To be honest. But all of these things point to the show being in 2006 rather than current day. But you have a few other things that might point a little bit in both directions. You have, like the laptop Steven is using in Rising Tides, Crashing Skies, which might be in Generation 1 Apple laptop, while the YouTube layout is current day. That might be accounted as just an animation error, to be honest, because they also had like and dislike, which at that time YouTube had a 5-star system, or Ronaldo live streaming, although I do believe you could do that in 2006. It was much harder than it's today. You didn't really have something like live stream Twitch or something like that to live stream through. You had to do it through your own website, and it was basically a lot much more of a pain in the ass to live stream back then. But Ronaldo, I can see him doing it. It's pretty much a little bit of a tech nut, so I can see him doing it. Also, the last generation handheld you can see in the show is a Game Boy Advanced that you can see being used as DJing for sour cream. But that might not just be because it's really old tech. That might actually be because it's basically previous tech. It's cheaper now and it's previous generation tech. But all of this together leads me to believe, without a doubt, that it's around 2006, if the calendar dates is correct. And I will use this to help me figure out other theories that I am currently working on. Because I have one certain theory, which I am going to be making pretty soon, but I am not done researching for that one. But this one is actually going to be the foundation of that exact theory. But I wish to thank you all for joining me. if you have any evidence against me or more evidence for this, tell me in the comment section below. As always, I love changing my theories over time. I might have overlooked something that really just got me on the rails to exactly this. Or maybe I forgot a few things that even more cements this. Stuff that I didn't know myself is actually evidence for 2006 over 2015. But again, tell me in the comment section below if you think that this theory holds any water at all. So, thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next video.